So the next step is bringing the images together and lining them up. So I'm going to show you that you can open up both images at the same time. You can do that by going to Open, and you're going to go to your filter layer, or filter image, and you're going to find whichever images that you're using. I'm going to change my view so I can see them. So it was this one and it was this one. So what I can do is, instead of opening this one up and then opening up this one, if I hold down the Command button on the keyboard, it'll allow me to select more than one layer, or more than one image rather. So again, if I hold down, if I'm not holding down the Command button, it'll just let me select one. But if I hold down the Command button, it'll let me select multiple, and I hit Open. So you'll see that both of these images open on separate tabs. Okay. It's at this point that you want one of your pictures to be on top of the other picture, so they're both on one image. So we want to have one of these added as a layer. It doesn't really matter whether or not you have your reference picture put on top of your picture, or if you want your picture put on top of your reference picture. But I would probably say if you didn't really care, I'd say take your picture and put it on a layer on top of your reference. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Move tool. I am going to drag. It doesn't look like I'm dragging anything, but I am going to drag without letting go. Put my cursor on top of the picture and then bring it down and let go. Alright, and then it's talking about mismatch because they're both, one's a, they might be different types of JPEGs. Say OK. So now you can see that my photo is on top of the reference photo, Aaron Judge. So now I can go ahead and shrink it down to start. Now I'm going to need to see through it so I can really get that lined up. So in order to do that, I'm going to come over here to my layers window, and I'm going to go to make sure that my picture is active, and I'm going to go to opacity and lower it down to somewhere around 50%. So you can see that my image is now kind of see-through. It's at this point I'm going to zoom in so I can work a little closer. Use the Move tool and start lining up your image. Now you can make it bigger and smaller. You can also put your cursor along the outside and you can rotate that image if you need to. Okay. You want to keep the proportion because you don't want to make your picture squatty or elongated in any way, so you want to keep that proportion the same. You can just shrink it down. If you don't see the handles on the side, when you're on the Move tool, make sure that Show Transform Controls is checked. If it's not checked, it'll allow you to move it. It won't let you resize it. So you can just check that off so it gives you the handles. So when you size this up, you want to try to get the eyes and the mouth lined up, and usually your nose will just kind of fall into place. So while it might not be absolutely perfect, you want to try to get pretty close. Okay, it's not too bad. Alright, I'm also checking out the chins. Chins are kind of lined up. Not too bad, that looks pretty good. Okay, creepy, but good. Okay, so once you get it lined up proper, we are now going to increase the opacity. And so we are done and ready for the next step.